For 13 seasons and counting, Chicago Fire has kept fans on the edge of their seats with explosive rescues and intense drama. Still, the true fuel to the show's chokehold on fans isn't the adrenaline-pumping action, but the relationships forged within the walls of Firehouse 51. The Chicago Fire crew are for more than coworkers. They're brothers and sisters in arms who never fail to go above and beyond to help their 51 friends. Here are some of the most beloved Chicago Fire friendships that have lit up the One Chicago universe. Matt Casey and Kelly Severide now. This legendary duo is the pinnacle of brotherhood. Matthew Casey, Jess Spencer, and Kelly Severide, Taylor Kinney, started the series with mutual respect, and soon their bond deepened into one of the most solid friendships of the series. Casey and Severide certainly had their differences, but the firefighters could rely on each other to have their back when the going got tough. From their post-shift cigar chats to their expert collaboration during rescue calls, Severide and Casey were two peas in a pod. Following Casey's relocation to Oregon, the friends remained close. Casey returned to Chicago to stand as Severide's best man at his wedding, and Severide returned the favor a couple years later. Their wives, Stella Kidd, Miranda Ray Mayo, and Sylvie Brett, Kara Kilmer, are super tight as well. Mouch McColland, Christian Stolt, and Christopher Herman, David Eigenberg, are the veteran firefighters at Firehouse 51, taking on the role of wisecracking uncles with their steel-tight bond. Mouch and Herman's friendship was thickened by decades of shared service to the CFD, and they continue to steal hearts with their hilarious banter, gripes about Windy City bureaucracy, and old-school wisdom. Herman and Mouch may bicker like an old married couple, but they've proven time and time again that they'll stand by each other through anything. Leslie Shea and Kelly Severide before tragedy struck. Leslie Shea, Lauren German, and Severide shared one of the most iconic and heartwarming friendships on Chicago Fire. As roommates and confidants, they understood each other better than most, a grand example of platonic love. Shea was one of the few people who could challenge Severide and get to him when he was spiraling, and Severide always showed up for Shea, whether after a rough breakup or during a call. After Shea's heart-wrenching death in Season 3, the grief shattered Severide. Shea's death left a hole in Firehouse 51's heart, but her legacy lived on through Severide's enduring loyalty to her memory. Brian Otis Zvonček and Joe Cruz. In earlier seasons of Chicago Fire, Brian Otis Zvonček, Yuri Sardarov, and Joe Cruz, Joe Manoso, stole the show. Cruz and Otis were roommates, best friends, and a grand comedic relief around the firehouse, but their friendship went much deeper than laughs. That's partially why Otis' death in Season 8 shattered viewers. Watching Cruz grieve that loss was one of the show's most heartbreaking moments. But even in Otis' absence, Cruz continues to honor his dear friend and has kept his spirit alive around Firehouse 51. Herman and Darren Ritter, Daniel Keary, share one of the most beloved 51 friendships, boasting big odd couple energy. Mouch and Herman took Ritter under their wing upon his Season 7 introduction on Chicago Fire. Soon, Herman became much more than a superior officer as Ritter's mentor and trusted confidant. Their dynamic bridges generations. Herman's old-school, gruff demeanor is often softened by Ritter's composed, spry lifestyle. Meanwhile, Herman grounds Ritter. Despite their many differences, Ritter and Herman have formed a genuine bond built on mutual respect and trust. Whether Herman has a question about some new app on his phone or Ritter needs career guidance, these firefighters will always be tight. Darren Ritter, Violet McCamey, and Blake Gallo-Mong, the newer generation at Firehouse 51. Ritter, Violet McCamey, Hanako Greensmith, and Blake Gallo, Alberto Rosend, formed a Three Musketeers bond that chiehards couldn't get enough of. The friendship, defined by Violet's competitiveness, Ritter's sarcasm, and Gallo's do-good nature, was the launching pad for dozens of entertaining storylines. The trio even launched their own beer-brewing side hustle. Gallo may have left the Windy City in Season 12, but Violet and Ritter remain tight after tearfully wishing their friend well. Violet Mikami and Lizzie Novak. Violet's bond with Lizzie Novak, Jocelyn Houdin, is one of Chicago Fire's newest and most promising friendships. As two charming and bright paramedics in high-pressure roles, Lizzie and Violet quickly developed a steel-tight rapport built on trust, wit, and vulnerability. Chiehards love that Lizzie and Violet have found someone they can confide in, and we can't wait to see where their friendship heads from here.